with the morning. Bury me in my river home. Oh, bury me in my river home. I've been working so hard. Oh, I've been working so hard. But when I come home, I just want to make love to you. When I come home, I've been grinding all night long. 18 hours grinding hard all night long. But when I come home, I just want to make love to you. When I come home, oh, now, woman, you know you make me feel so good. I say, woman. All right.
What is up, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the MMA Bourbon Appreciation Society. Happy St. Patrick's Day. We're a day behind, but we are still going to do St. Patty's Day right. And with me, of course, Jeremy Johnson here, along with Jim Range and Craig Nasello. You know, guys, I did realize that it's not Patty's, P-A-T-T-Y. It's Paddy's, P-A-D-D-Y-S.
Very much so.
And I will tell you, I had a bunch of Irish people pissed off at me when I wrote Paddy's. So, I mean... Now, guys, number one, how do you celebrate St. Patty's Day? Jimmy, hit me.
How do I celebrate it? Coming from an Irish family.
Range is very Irish.
Dowling. My mother's side was. Range isn't. Good catch. No, but coming from the Dowling side,
Is it O-Range?
It's always been, it's O-Dowling.
Oh, of course it is.
Jimmy O-Range.
Of course it is.
No, I mean, it's just always been family celebrations, just getting together and enjoying the family with it and the parades and such. But
well, very nice. So, Craig O. Nasello over there, talk to me about what is your, because I know you're a fan of St. Patty's Day. You're a fan of Irish whiskey.
Yes.
And so kind of talk to me about what brings the Irish whiskey that you like.
What did you say? Say that again.
How do you talk to me about it's what happens whenever we do the sip, sink, or save test beforehand. So
right.
Tell me about, though, what your faves of what do you like about Irish whiskey?
What isn't there like about Irish whiskey?
I mean, that's a very serious.
I don't think I've ever had a bad one.
Well, I mean, there was that one that we did for that one sip, sink, and save that we got the bottle of for free, and none of us talk about it since. But yeah, I mean, it is. It's one of those that I'm a huge fan of Irish whiskey. The idea of it, it's so old. There is so much history behind it. And we're going to talk a lot about that tonight. Of course, we're going to get to our favorites of Sip, Sink, and Save. And tonight, I think we have a really good one.
Really hard.
Yeah.
Real hard.
Like,
This is
I don't know if I can pick.
this is probably top 2, if not the hardest one to actually choose across the 3.
Yes, and I do want to say a big thank you to our Sip, Sink, and Save sponsor tonight, the 4-0 Quick Stop in Troy, Illinois, who happened to just hook us up with some bottles tonight to try. So I do greatly appreciate that. We'll put out the link here in our bio for all of their information. Go check them out. No, guys, but tonight, of course, we also have to do a cocktail. And it's a good Irish night, and I think that everyone can see...
We are a day late.
We are a day late. But I don't think that matters.
No, I don't think it matters either.
I don't think it matters. I mean, let's face it. Some of us were partying last weekend. Some of us will party this weekend. You know, it happens.
Some of them
So
had to stop partying.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
I'm
So
going with Dan O'Connor on that one.
exactly, gotta love Bellator veteran Dan O'Connor for that. He has been partying since probably last week. No, but we are going to do tonight one of the staples of the quote unquote Irish drinks, and I debated on what I was going to call it, because some people have told me the name Irish Car Bomb is not the most PC thing in our day, but I'm going to call it the Irish Car Bomb. You can call it the Irish Drop, you can call it the Irish Boilermaker, but it's an Irish Car Bomb. So tonight we are going to make that. All right. It comes down to you need a pint of Guinness. Now, since we're on the radio and with iHeart and with the videos, we don't want anybody throwing up an entire pint of Guinness on poor Jimmy's table here. So we're going to start off, though, with the cocktail tonight. It involves pour yourself a pint of Guinness. You need to take half an ounce of Irish cream. Next, Jimmy, if you would, hand me, please, the Jameson there. You are also...
Caskmate?
The Caskmates. We are going to do this with a fun one here. So we're going to do Caskmates with us. And it's going to be half an ounce of your favorite Irish whiskey. And tonight we have a lot, and it's a tough one to choose. So if you would please drop that over there for me. Mm-hmm. And now, here is where the car bomb comes into place. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, you take it. You drop it into your glass, and then you drink it. Are we ready, gentlemen? Yeah. 3, 2, 1. Here we go.
Cheers.
Not me.
And that's how you do an Irish car bomb, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much.
And it doesn't get much better than that.
It doesn't. And the Caskmates having just the light coffee flavor really does help. Now we're all going to burp on IR here.
That's one of the reasons.
I do love the fact that we have a couple in the chat already who's going to ask who's going to throw up first from doing car bombs.
That'd be me,
but
probably.
It probably is. So now, all right, let's talk whiskey, because let's face it, that's what makes the Irish. But no, we are going to go first into the bourbon world, and there has been a lot of really interesting things with the spirits world, period, that celebrities are jumping in left and right. You know, not only, I mean, we have many out there, not only Sammy Hagar, you know, there's a ton.
Aykroyd's got a vodka. You've got
Crystal
Ryan
Skulls
Reynolds.
was amazing.
Yeah, you got Ryan Reynolds with the Aviation Gin, which he just sold. We all know we've got McGregor with Proper 12.
Well, he did, and we'll talk about that later tonight. Yes.
Yeah. But it's just crazy how many out there. You got Metallica with Blackened, which is somewhere over there on the shelf or downstairs.
I mean, we do have a few.
It's crazy when you look at how many of them there are. But what's getting ridiculous, I'm saying ridiculous, but the way they're selling them now.
Well,
they're starting it up and turning around and flipping immediately, it seems like.
And so do you think that this is really the love of whiskey? So I will tell you that I started my brand, Uppercut Whiskey, that's going to be coming out here soon, solely on my love of the idea. Do you think that these guys really had that, or was it like, okay, cool, I'm going to send my name to something and then we're going to make money at it?
I think majority of them are business only. It's not, I think there's some intrigueness with it, but they're business people and they're looking, how am I going to grow the business? Use my name and then sell it.
I mean, that is a very fair statement. Also, I would like to point out in the comments tonight, Hall of Fame boxer Kevin Engel says, look how good you guys swallow. I mean, chug. Just saying. So there's that. Thank you very much, Kevin Engel. And it's going to be Craig, let's be honest. So, because $20 is $20. Anyway, we're also now having Irish pours this evening as we go along. So, Jimmy, what is, out of all of them that you have had, and I know that you've had Aviation Gin, and I know that you've had, what has been your favorite celebrity spirit?
From the tequila line, it's going to be Sammy's Cabo. That was just, and I actually just picked up a bottle yesterday.
Okay.
Of it, because we got a little road trip coming up this weekend that we need to stock up for some.
Well, I mean, you got to have booze for the road.
Making Mexican mules to keep the wife happy.
Oh, good call.
So
good
I
call.
picked up the Cabo for that. But honestly, the more I think about it, and there are some very good ones in there, but Long Branch.
So,
McConaughey's collaboration with Wild Turkey that he's the sponsor of, and they came to him with collaboration.
So now, Craig, we had Long Branch here for one of our Sip Sync and Saves, and it was really good. Actually, the funny thing I remember is that I didn't realize it was a Wild Turkey product. I go, man, this tastes kind of like Wild Turkey. But what has been kind of, I know that you're a fan of the Metallica Blackened.
I do like the Blackened. I do enjoy that one. That one's pretty good.
I was really surprised as a blended whiskey. It's got a great flavor to it. So Craig, tell me then, what would be kind of your, so let's say that they made a Cut Man whiskey. For all of you guys out there, what would be your ultimate taste that you would want? We talking smooth? Are we talking bold?
A lot of rye?
No.
No high rye for Craig.
High rye. I would prefer something smooth.
Okay.
Just because, I don't need that big harsh hit.
Sure.
In flavor. I just want to be able to sip and enjoy and not have a rye.
Sure.
That burn.
Yeah. So, all right, but the biggest thing I guess is let's kind of wrap it all around. Craig, do the celebrities really do this for the love of the whiskey and the love of the spirit, or are they doing it for the money?
Money. I mean,
that's fair.
I mean, why not? I mean,
I hate to say that, but it's fair.
How much did Ryan Reynolds get off of Aviation?
Oh, it was incredible.
It was an incredible amount of money. Why would you not?
Well,
I mean,
but I think Ryan, though, does things because he wants to. He's a businessman, but he does it to have fun and take it. And if he benefits, great. But I mean, the guy, you follow him on social media, and he just lives life to do whatever Ryan Reynolds wants.
Well, I mean, that's fair. And so and the one that I want to bring up here before we wrap this up is Conor McGregor. We're in the MMA space. We're in the whiskey space. It's a blessing here. Thoughts on the Proper 12 sale? So as we said, Proper 12 was actually, I don't know if anybody knows out there, it was actually made by Bushmills. Made by the oldest distillery in Ireland. That's Bushmills. Owned by the tequila company.
They're owned by Cuervo now.
Right. And so Conor sold out along with his business partner, his final shares of the company. And the rumor has it that Conor McGregor has himself alone made an additional $150 million off of this sale to push his net worth upwards of close to $300 million.
Plus, he's probably still getting back in money for doing like commercials and stuff.
Oh, 100%. So now they have
he's still their spokesman.
Right. They have not said, though, I mean, if he's going forward as the I can't imagine him not being.
Right.
He's an icon in Ireland.
Yeah.
And so I think tonight we have a funny one with we're going all Jameson. He always had the F the Jameson brothers. That was his big thing whenever he came out. But was Proper 12 a better Irish whiskey than Jameson? Jim Range.
No.
Why?
One, I think it was inconsistent. And it's a little more consistency towards the end where Jameson's been around since
1780. Right.
Bushmills has been around since 1600s. So, and even though it's coming out of Bushmills, it still didn't have the consistency.
Fair.
So,
very fair. Craig Nasello, you have had both.
I'm on the same page as him.
Mm-hmm.
The consistency of the bottles were like night and day sometimes. And it'd be the same batch because you could see the batch numbers.
And I mean, you and I, we traveled far and wide to find it when it first came out.
Yeah.
I mean, we really did. And it was different.
No, I mean,
they were different from bottle to bottle.
It's not bad. I like it. I prefer Jameson or Bushmills.
Yeah.
Fair.
Plain and simple.
I prefer Tullamore Dew, but that's
Or
just me.
Middleton.
Yeah, I mean, but it's fine.
I do like Bushmills a lot, but I've always been a Jameson person. When I drink Irish whiskey, I really like Jameson a lot. And then tonight just introduced me to 2 more of their collaborations, and it's just like, oh,
Yeah.
I didn't even realize that, I've always seen them, and I've never picked them up because I've always just went with a straight old
Absolutely.
the original Jameson bottle.
And, like I said, a big thank you to the 4-0 in Troy, Illinois here for hooking us up tonight with that.
It's funny because like yesterday when I picked up, I was in the liquor store, they had a Jameson 18 sitting there.
Well, that is their high
And
line.
that's their high line, and I really thought about it, and
The other one that
I don't know. I mean,
but the other one that really gets me is that they have this cold brew. And we actually had that as another one tonight. And so it became like, I thought personally, just going after the bottle taste, that the cask mates with it being a stout, okay, so you get a lot of coffee in stout. This cold brew is something.
It's like coffee.
It is. It's legit. It's coffee with whiskey.
yeah.
And I am like kind of floored on how good it was. I actually ended up making a couple of cocktails for production. And it became cold brew coffee. It was amazing. So I'm a fan. Conor McGregor, I'm glad he made his money.
Yeah, I mean, good for him. I mean, I'll still drink proper 12 every once in a while. It's not.
Oh, I have a bottle on my bar right now.
Yeah.
It's
I've
not
got
that
it.
it's bad. I just the inconsistencies of it make me prefer the Jamesons.
I mean, I think that's one thing, though, we talk about in the bourbon, or just the whiskey world in general, is you get your preferences. And you get to make your choice on what you like, because there's such a great selection out there at so many different price points.
Absolutely.
And I think that's a benefit we get from it all.
And speaking of price points, we have to talk about something, and it's kind of been one of those that we have really seen here in the last probably 2 to 3 months in the spirits world, is the secondary bourbon market has exploded. And when I say exploded, so just to let you all in a little inside baseball here, Jim Range and I both had an E.H. Taylor 18-year marriage in our collection. We paid $900.
We paid a stupid amount.
We did at that time
on purpose.
Yes, because you couldn't get them, and I
Well,
happened to end up
and
with 2.
the secondary market at the time was 18. So we bought it.
To
Talk
sell.
about business. We bought it. We didn't buy it to drink. We knew we were going to flip it.
Right, exactly. And now I shoot myself because that bottle is, what is it, $3,000?
It's $3,000, and it's gone up $1,200 in the last 9 months. Serious.
Absolutely.
But even all secondary market has gone absolutely crazy lately. I'm at the point, do you gamble more on crypto or do you gamble on bourbon?
Well, I
You're
killed
both.
I killed it on the Dogecoin market, let's be honest. So
But I mean, that's a story for another day, but it's gotten crazy that when does it drop?
well, you see it every day.
Yeah.
That there are stores out there who are now charging secondary prices because you travel all the time.
Well, the other day I had a customer of mine tell me, "Oh, hey, I'm getting Blanton's in." He goes, "Are you interested?" I said, "Yeah, I'm interested, but I'm not paying over $90. Period.
100%.
Will not pay over $90 for this bottle." He's like, "Oh, I don't think it'll be that much." He come back to me 2 days later. He's like, "Oh, I want $250 a bottle." I'm like, "Dude, I'm not buying that.
Oh,
I'm not buying for a $70 bottle of Blanton's that I can get at Schnucks." I mean, don't get me wrong. I have to beg, borrow, and steal to get it from Schnucks because they probably get 2 bottles.
Yeah.
So Schnucks being a local here in the Midwest
Yeah,
in the St. Louis area, it's one of those. It's a family type grocery store
Right.
that's all in our area. So
It's like you go down to Kentucky Kroger,
exactly.
which is that was my go-to store there.
100%.
But I'm not going to go pay. I'm not paying secondary market for that bottle. Now, don't get me wrong. If I can get that bottle for $69 and sell it for $250, I'm going to.
But the crazy part is $250 is double secondary for Blanton's. I almost lost it when you said that's double the price, secondary price.
Crazy.
Well, then I had another customer.
I got mad when I paid $90 for a bottle of Blanton's, and
Well, did you
also, well, I'm sorry, I do have to jump in. No, I have to jump into the comments here. MMA and kickboxer Dan Harina says that he can't believe the Lions live sign is blocking my hair on the live. Just FYI.
He only tuned in for that.
I mean, he really did, and that's how it works. So go check it out. Jeremy Johnson's
I heard
hair.
he was going to practice anyway. So.
I mean, he doesn't train anymore. It's fine. I heard that. So anyway, continue, please. So
but then I went to another store and he had Willet, and it was he wanted.
You're leading into a great topic.
He
here.
wanted like it was something stupid. It was like $195 for that bottle. I'm like, dude, it's $46 bottle of bourbon.
100%. The thing that gets me now, and as actually since you're closer here, may you pour me a little bit of the cask mates here. I would like that.
I was about ready to do myself.
The thing that gets me is that it becomes now. It doesn't matter what the product is.
Right.
If you have a bourbon, you have money.
Good luck. I have lots of bourbon.
Well,
I don't have any money.
But what I'm saying is like, so I sat down tonight and I do some consulting for stores in what they should be carrying and that kind of thing. He asked me a question. He said, so I have an Old Forester birthday.
Wait, what?
Exactly.
Where has he got that high at?
Well, I may end up with that. Just saying.
Thanks.
Thanks
for looking out for your buddy.
Because the thing is we'll all drink it when I get it.
I understand that.
But he was like, what should I charge for it?
Oh,
and
an arm and a leg?
Exactly.
Because you can get it.
The thing that gets me with it, though, now is that people have gotten to the point where it doesn't matter what the bourbon is. It doesn't matter if it's an MGP mass-produced product. Remus Reserve is an MGP rye. It is what it is. And it's $90 a bottle now. It's mass-produced in gigantic barrels. If you all saw it, it would be incredible to think that this is a high-end, quote-unquote, because, I mean, it's good. Don't get me wrong.
But it's not worth that.
It's
not
made
to me, at least.
It's made in 1,000-gallon batches.
Dude,
How does this become
MGP
a
has
thing?
gotten that good, but it's also the marketing of the rest of it.
It is.
It's COVID.
But it is.
It's COVID.
But here's the other thing.
Well,
though.
no, because I bought the entire wall at a local.
Imagine that.
I know. I did. I mean, we bought every one of the one that they had because I was bored and I had no place to go during COVID.
But here's the thing, and as dumb as it sounds, people will pay secondary on a secondary market. They won't pay secondary in a retail store.
But they'll pay close.
Yeah.
They will get close to it, but
Okay.
But and where's the fine line that you draw that what you're doing on a secondary versus in a store? I don't see it. But somebody will not walk into the store, but you see it all the time. We're all involved in the secondary trading, and it's crazy what they're doing.
So I'm going to bring one up to you. And this is the one that floored me to the secondary market. What was the last retail for real price you paid for Weller Special Reserve? I will tell you the last that I paid for a bottle was $35. You cannot touch Weller Special Reserve right now for under $95.
That's true.
That's
You can't-
insanity.
But you can find it in the store now.
Barely.
If you're lucky.
If you're lucky.
It's like finding-
if you're lucky.
Craig, try to find Buffalo Trace right now.
I can't find it.
Ex-
I take it back. I found it in a little hood store on my route a couple weeks ago. And guess what? I bought it.
Well, yeah,
For
because we've
$31.
got to.
He wanted $31. I'm like, here,
Actually,
take my money now.
one of the stores right here by us has it in stock, $29 a bottle.
Well, it was funny because I talked to one of the stores that I consult with tonight, and they were like, it all comes down to, and I found this very interesting, and
that
this
reminds me. You got a bottle for me.
is darn right.
I just remembered that.
It's
Right there.
right there. It really is, actually. So the thing that I found interesting tonight is that I talked to one of them that I do consulting for, and they told me that the pricing will come down to a per case price from their distribution. If they buy an open case that's not 12 bottles, so let's say that they don't think that they can move 12 bottles, the distribution now is taking a higher percentage. I think that's amazing, and I would love to find out from a distributor how that all works.
I may have one that we could speak to about that.
Well, I think that would be a
We
great
may need to
idea.
get them on the call.
Here's my next question. Where's our bottles at from the barrel pick?
That's coming. my barrel pick is coming, and we'll actually get into that a little bit here in just a moment whenever we get into the sip, sink, or save. But
I'm still waiting on my barrel pick.
it's coming. So, all right, if you guys are into the secondary market and you're buying and selling and kind of trading, let us know what you think in the comments here on our Facebook page or on Twitter at MMA Bourbon, and let us know what you think. So,
Or if you find crazy prices, ask us,
100%,
and we'll give
help
you we'll give you an honest opinion on
And
the
if you
price.
find a good price, let us know too.
Right, because we'll come buy them all. I mean, that has happened. Okay, all right, so I'm going off the rails on that one. Jim Range, what is the one product that you have walked into a store and bought everyone on the shelf?
Eagle
Because
Rare.
I have one.
Eagle Rare.
Okay, Craig Nasello, Eagle Rare. Fair. All right, continue.
Man, what's one that I bought every bottle on the shelf?
I can tell you what mine is right off the bat.
I think the last one I did it would be a Buffalo Trace.
Really?
Just because I took care of people that needed it, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I've done it with Blanton's, too. I've done it with Blanton's. I
When he's
literally
saying
have.
that, he means me.
Right, exactly. 'cause-
No, honestly, a buddy of mine,
I know. I'm just
Chad, got that for us.
Oh, Chad
get-
got that?
Yes.
Oh, well, thank you, Chad.
Nice. All right.
Who's a loyal listener. He took
100%.
care of us. But no, I've done it with Blanton's where I've walked into a store and grabbed what I could that they would allow me.
Also, I want to say a big thank you for listening to all of our fans out in Louisville, Kentucky, who are watching at the moment. So it's amazing that we have fans literally all over the country. I love it. So mine is the H. Taylor Small Batch, and I bought every bottle in the store for $40.
What they have? 2?
No, they had 8,
Really?
and I bought every one of them.
Fair enough.
Why? Number one, it's delicious. The term small batch, of course, is
Did you get
kind of
Maker's Mark
bogus.
too?
We'll go into Maker's Mark later. But why you got to give me so much trouble over that?
I'm bored.
It's fine. But no, mine was the H. Taylor Small Batch. I bought every one of them. I think it was for $40 a bottle. At the current moment, the H. Taylor Small Batch is going for $125.
It's crazy. Single barrel's going for $210.
It's insanity. And I'm gonna so here's my audible on this subject. What's gonna make it stop, Jim Range? That the fact that these people are doing this, because I hate to say it, but we're kind of guilty of it ourselves.
Yeah, because I'm surprised you guys haven't sold those 2 bottles yet for $3,000. Because I already sold that shit.
No, the
No,
problem was we
We
did.
sold it.
Oh, you just sold them already?
Well, but the problem was we sold them for like $1,800.
Oh, you dumbasses. Dumbass.
Well, we didn't know.
Wait
Who
it
would have
out.
thought?
Well, you buy freaking Bitcoin and like you can't wait?
I've
You,
made.
you
I
don't,
made-
ex- but you don't-
you don't expect a 40%
he
growth.
just
in
called me
9
out
months.
on Bitcoin, ladies and gentlemen. Just say, Matt, producer Matt is looking at me like, yeah, I know.
I'm
what's
getting a
going
look
on.
at him
No,
too from him like,
I think what's going to
Matt,
happen.
producer Matt, do you buy Bitcoin also? Okay.
I
people
bought a
are-
Mercedes
it's some-
with it, just FYI. Continue.
But I think
still
what's
have
going
that?
Yeah, no. Anyway,
it saved his life.
No, that was the one that got hit out in front of his car. Ow.
fairs. Continue.
No, what's going to stop it is people are finally going to say enough's enough. And I mean, you see people now going, "What the hell are we paying for this?"
It's not going to stop.
No,
And
it's
I-
not going to stop because people don't care. Especially right now with COVID and everybody staying home and they have nothing else to do. What do you think they're going to do? They're spending money, like, they're buying cars and shit instead of buying.
Completely.
Instead of going on vacation. And
But
stuff
cars
like
you can drive. If you buy a bottle like this,
that.
it's
Let them keep buying cars, please, and not pay for them, please.
Well, yeah, because
But-
Craig is in the repo business.
but honestly though, if you think about it, if I'm buying a bottle to flip it, I'm not going to sit there while I'm at home and have my buddies over and drink it. If I buy a bottle at a decent price, I mean, we all know 90% of our bottles get open.
100%.
yeah.
Honestly, 95% plus get open.
Oh, if you look in the back bar here currently of the stage, I mean,
I'm ready for the open that same Houston.
there's handies, there is
You're giving out handies.
There's
Torchy
Stag.
Stags. I mean, there is a lot.
Did he say he's giving out handies?
And this is why we have our rating that we do, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. Okay.
But we drink.
Just asking.
We drink, but what we buy.
For a friend.
$20 is $20.
Right.
Okay. All
I got
right.
two. I got 2
And
bucks.
this
What's that give
this
me?
is a problem of sip, sink, and save.
Exactly, because we start drinking beforehand. All right. Anyway, let us know in the comments, what is the craziest bottle that you have bought?
Evidently a handy.
I mean, sold. Tom's
That handy costs a little more than $20. So
It
Craig.
did. It did. But let's be honest. It's one of those that it's not going to stop until the market finally, I think that once the I don't know how to word this. Whenever it finally stops being cool to be a bourbon person. Because right now it's
kind of
cool.
like you guys in beards. It's cool not to have a beard. But
I look like I'm 12 and I'm 46 without a beard.
Well, I'm just
but
saying,
it's a thing.
it's like
I get
beard
what you're
guys.
saying. I get what you're
It's a
saying.
thing.
I do get what
It's
you're
like
saying.
man buns.
I'm
Tony,
so
you know
glad
what,
that trend's
Craig?
over.
I could pass that one up.
Yes, fair. All right. So anyway, let us know what it is as we all have it. Now, it is time, ladies and gentlemen, as you see on our very cool, as Craig dies here from the Irish car bomb shot.
Which is,
I mean,
I'm not
he
even
did
gonna.
well. He did well.
He did a little bit of it.
Tonight, we are bringing you our Sip, Sink, and Save as to deal with St. Patrick's Day. We are going the battle of the Jameson varieties. And so tonight, we have original Jameson, a Jameson Black Barrel, which is one of their higher ends, and the Jameson Cask-Made Stout Edition. We did have, as I said, the Jameson Cold Brew, which tasted so much like coffee, I think we threw it out because it did not have a whiskey flavor, but it was amazingly delicious.
It was definitely a cold brew with a hint of coffee in it. I mean, Jameson in it.
I was going to say, I think it's more coffee.
It was
with a hint of
100%
Jameson,
coffee.
yeah.
It was a cold brew coffee with Jameson in it. Apologies.
All right. So tonight, as I said, original Jameson. Now, the funny thing that I find that I love the idea of Irish whiskey. Irish whiskey is such a tradition. You know, bourbon's been around for 100 years or so. Irish whiskey has been around since the 1700s. Jameson.
Oh, no, you're going back to 1600s with Bushmills.
Well,
so you're 500 years old, 500 years plus with Irish whiskey.
Before you ever even get to, wherever you're going to go. But the distillery that did become Jameson was started in Dublin in 1780, and John Jameson was the gentleman who started. His wife was actually the daughter of a very famous Scottish distiller back there named John Haig. And so that's where John Jameson learned the art of distillation is from his in-laws. He
Similar
had
to the Bush family.
Exactly. Yeah. He had 8 daughters and 8 sons, and they founded the John Jameson and Sons Ltd. distillery. It was one of the craziest, it became the biggest thing literally in whiskey. But the cool thing that I love about Jameson is that it is still done in the traditional way of distillation. Mm-hmm. So when you get behind the scenes of it, there are a couple of different ways that the stills work and things like that. So you have what's called a columnar still, which is a big tall thing that strips all of the flavor out as it goes up, but it makes really high proof whiskey. And when you put it in the barrels, you can make a lot of it really fast. Jameson still uses the pot still way of distillation. Pot still adds an interesting flavor because it pulls all of the copper, takes all the sulfites out. Jameson is a triple distilled, so it runs through 3 times, and I love that about it. I'm a pot still distiller. Everything that I do is in a copper pot still, and it makes such a difference as the copper takes out the sulfites. It's what makes, the guys who do moonshine and things like that, they take all of that, they put it through the copper still, it takes all of it out as they go by. The other thing is that it is a grain-based whiskey with one of those that it's a blend of malted barley. It's 1 grain. It's either malted or unmalted together. They blend it, they cook it, and it works out. One of the coolest flavors that really comes out, and it's sourced from 50 miles around the distillery still today. So the other thing is, I know that you have some pretty interesting facts here about what made Jameson back in the day. So
I mean, it's just interesting when you go back and you look through the history of Irish whiskey. I mean, Bushmills has been around since the 1600s, Jameson since 1780. But when you tack that on, up until the mid-1960s, there were probably 25 to 28 distilleries that were solid in Ireland. And Irish whiskey, obviously, just like Scotch comes from Scotland, Irish whiskey comes from Ireland.
You cannot call anything Irish whiskey, no matter your mash bill, no matter the way that your technique works. If it's not made in Ireland, it is not Irish whiskey.
Exactly. And by the mid-1960s, you were down to 2 distilleries, Old Middleton
Wow.
and Bushmills. Old Middleton was actually comprised of Jameson and then Clark Distilleries and John Power and Son. And
Well,
Clark, go
Continue.
ahead.
Yeah, no, go ahead, please.
And Clark Distilleries then, which was part of it then, Bushmills actually became part of that in 1972. Prior to Bushmills and Jameson's going their separate ways, where you've got Jameson's where it's at now, and you've got Bushmills as part of Cuervo. But the reason that conglomeration started in 66 was to save Irish whiskey because you were down to a handful of distilleries.
Oh,
Whiskey hit rock bottom, and prior to then, whiskey was cheaper to make than beer and everything else.
absolutely.
And you hit that, but then all of a sudden it costs more. You got other things going on, and in the 60s, boom.
oh,
So that conglomeration was made to save Irish whiskey, and now you're back up to close to 30 distilleries in Ireland for it.
and it's the thing that I can't believe though about Jameson is that there are over 8 million cases of Jameson made a year. That's astronomical. So to put it in perspective, me being a small distiller who's going to release a product, I'm hoping to God that I can sell 500 cases. That's really it. This product, 8 million cases out of a place from 1780, instilled the giant pot stills that make it work in Ireland for over 500 years. It's incredible.
I mean, I love the fact that you look at Bushmills, the distillery still where it was from 1600s. Jameson is now part of the New Middleton distillery versus the Old Middleton.
Right.
But you're still in the same region of the country. And you've got growth and changes, but you're still following the original recipes. 4 to 500 years ago, and they're still producing the same way.
And
you don't have businesses nowadays. You don't have distilleries here. Old Crow,
Oh, completely.
gone and revamped.
Yes.
I mean-
with a great new product, go
Yeah.
check them out. I mean, it was amazing time. But also got in the comments here, I cannot wait until the whiskey isn't cool for the richer hipster people. Would they be talking about you, Jimmy, rich hipster people?
Probably you. You're more hipster than I am.
Okay, I mean, it's fine. Whatever,
I'm such a hipster.
Yeah, it's fine. But, all right, so tonight, Sip, Sink, and Save. As I said, we have original Jameson Black Barrel, which is their high line, other than the 18-year, and Jameson Caskmates the Stout. So it is actually taken in a beer stout barrel and additionally aged in that. So, all right, here we go. Craig Nasello, Sip, Sink, or Save.
I'm going to sip the Black Barrel.
Wow, really? Okay.
I enjoyed that.
Now we have forked out a lot of Black Barrel tonight. Not gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
Not as much as we had castmates, though.
My Castmates is going to be my everyday.
I
enjoyed it.
the Caskmates is amazing. Continue.
And my sink is going to be the original Jameson, which is hard for me to say that.
Oh, really?
This was hard for me to decide. I was like, I've been sitting here this whole time, just like looking at these, like, which one do I, because they're all so close, but also so different.
That's what amazed me about this exercise was that for something that uses the same distillate, it's so different.
Mm-hmm.
And as you made the Maker's Mark joke, it's the same thing as Maker's Mark. Maker's Mark uses the same distillate. This is so different, but it uses the same barrels with different finishes and different things that it changes the flavor profile so much. It's crazy. Also, we do have a message that asks if we were taking an Uber home. Absolutely. Anyway, continue. Craig Nasello. So you are Sip, Sink, and Save. So we're there to let him know it all.
We just did it.
So,
No, we're let him all. Lay him out.
What do you mean lay them out? Black Barrel, then
Is
here's
your
my sip.
Yep.
My everyday is the Caskmates, and my sink is the original Jameson.
Beautiful. That's a heck of a combo. All right, Jim Range.
All righty.
Sip, Sink, and Save.
I think it's obviously my sipper that I'm going to do on a daily basis is going to be my Caskmates. I mean, that's just...
Really? Okay.
I love the flavor of it. And the thing is, all three of them are so smooth. I want to take down the drain's going to be the original.
Gosh,
And I'm
I
gonna
can't
say-
believe this.
I mean, I hate to say it, but then the Black Barrel is going to be one. I think I can do a little bit more cocktail wise with it. But the Caskmate is so smooth to just sit down and have a drink and sip it and drink it. I can't not do it.
Wow.
I want to see where Jeremy goes.
Wow. Okay. All right. I'm glad the production staff is laughing on this. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on between those two. I wasn't even looking. I just caught the laughs.
Yeah. All right. So finalize it, ballpark it, sip, sink, and save is go.
I'm going to sip Caskmate.
Okay.
I'm going to save Black Barrel. And I'm getting rid of, I'm going to sink the original.
Wow.
The same thing I said. Right?
Exactly. Yeah. So Craig and Jimmy are together. All right. So here is my take on all of this. Number one, Jameson makes an amazing malted barley product. This has been one of my absolute toughest sip, sink, and save. And I mean, we've played the Pappy's game. We've played all of them. This is one of the toughest flavor profiles that I have ever had to do. So on the nose, Caskmates is almost chocolate malted, I think. Black Barrel gives you a very smooth start to finish. Jameson is Jameson. It is what it is. It is one of the best Irish whiskeys ever made. And so I am going to have to say my everyday drinker is original Jameson. The reason being is there is enough malted barley flavor to it that it will make anything. I could make any cocktail in my repertoire right now with Jameson and it will be amazing, no matter what. So every day that's going to be what it is. My save is going to be Jameson's Caskmates because it adds a little bit of an extra profile. I know that it's the way that they work the wood staves at the end.
We can tell you're saving it tonight.
Well, yeah. I mean,
let's
face it.
I know.
And my pour down the drain is the higher end Black Barrel.
Really?
And everyone is giving me a look. Actually, producer Matt just looked at me like, you're an idiot. But, so here's my reasoning behind it. The Black Barrel is almost for people who don't drink whiskey an overbearing finish.
Colton Cole agrees with you.
Okay, well that's awesome because Colton Cole knows what he's going with. Check it out, Cole's Hearth Room, very nice. I would absolutely sink Black Barrel. So my sip, sink, and save. I am going to sip original Jamesons. I am going to save Jameson Caskmates, and I am going to throw down the sink Jameson's Black Barrel. So, all right, guys, let us know in the comments what you would do for your Irish whiskey Jameson. And again, to throw in the wild card, the Jameson cold brew was absolutely amazing tonight. Big thank you to 40 Quick Stop for giving those to us. Also, of course, Sip, Sink, and Save brought to you by Bucks Burley Hair Care Products. Check them out at bucksburley.com. You can get that on Amazon. It is the official hair product of the MMA Bourbon Appreciation Society, and they have been a sponsor of mine for many years. So the thing that I find interesting here is we have a ton of people who are coming back and saying, can we get a bottle of the Caskmates? Oh, nice, Revolution. Okay, that's
no.
All
This
right.
is, can we get you a bottle?
Send it to me. I'll drink anything at the moment. Yeah, we'll make
We'll
this
bring it
happen.
on. We'll talk about it.
Completely. If you have a whiskey that you think we need to try, you're a business, whatever, let us know. We have a great, a great following here. These guys are all engaged with us, and we really appreciate it. So, all right, let's talk mixed martial arts. Because that's the other half of the MMA Bourbon Appreciation Society. And we have had some crazy fights in the UFC. Stylebender, tell me all about it, Jimmy.
I mean, that fight didn't go the way I expected.
Really?
I really don't think so. I mean, I thought Blachowicz was come out with it, but starting out, just going full-blown striking to start. I didn't expect it. I thought he would try to control a little bit more.
Okay.
And not go toe-to-toe and then finish with the wrestling.
But,
But I mean, just their styles. But I think it worked out the way he wanted. But I think he was on a mission also, and he has said that.
I
And
think he wanted to give him that first L.
He wanted to get the first
100%.
L. He knew UFC, and he said it. UFC had a plan for him. So with that plan, what they had for Stylebender, he knew he was going to come in, and he was going to have to do what he had to do to win the fight.
Well, not only that, but I mean, Craig, you just made the comment, and it all comes down to weight class jumping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can be amazing in one weight class and just get lit up because you're not big enough.
20 pounds is a lot of weight.
Yeah.
100%. 100%. So what is your thought, though, on the idea of jumping weight classes? Because everybody talked, okay, is it going to be John Jones versus Stylebender? Well, we see that isn't really going to work.
Yeah, 250, he's not getting down there again.
100%. No, it's not
I see
there.
something he's down at like 224 now.
Oh, I thought he was a little bit higher than that, but yeah. But he's still not going to get down there.
No, absolutely.
Why? I mean, why at this point? You've committed to going to heavyweight, then go to heavyweight. He's beat everybody at 205. John Jones has beat everybody at 205 that they've put in front of him. And now you want to move up to heavyweight. Move up.
But he's
Quit
older,
talking.
too. He's older, so why does he want to? He doesn't want to put the
Cut the
effort
weight,
to cut
yeah.
that.
Well,
weight
His
cutting-
walking weight goes up a
who
little
wants
bit
to
more.
cut weight at that age?
I sure the hell don't.
That ain't no joke.
Well,
Also, I would like to say, let's see. So I got another comment here. When is Shamrock FC going to start back up? I have no idea. Your guess is as good as mine. Okay, thank you. We'll go on besides that. No, now we are moving into... There was a little bit of drama after this last
Yeah.
fight. And so I'm not even sure how we got to this point that we're now calling out, people outside of the MMA world. I mean, tell me about it.
I
Jimmy.
think it's just, are you outside the MMA world? Are you talking
he's
Hans?
a fighter.
Well, he is, but still.
He's a professional fighter.
Yeah.
But
He has a professional record. He's a professional fighter.
But the way he manipulates the fighters,
I'm not saying
And
that. I'm just saying.
it's just crazy.
okay, but first, explain what we're talking about. Also, if you would you pour me?
I'll pour you another drink while I'm explaining.
Yes.
Are we talking? We're going to whole Hans Mullenkamp
Oh, we are.
with Monster and the threatening
Let's
fighters
get it right.
to cut them.
He's an executive at Monster.
Yes.
That handles
Yes.
the fight. The fight
promotion.
the fight sponsorships with the fighters.
Also, one moment, please. I just need to address this. No, Colton Cole. I did not think that Jan was going to win that fight, just FYI. Continue, please. Okay.
So with the whole Mullenkamp thing, it's crazy how he gets the fighters to come train with him, tries to make him look better. And I'm going from the fighter's word of what's going on.
Sure.
There's been a lot of them coming out with this and telling them if they don't train with him, they're not going to get the sponsorships. But then you got other fighters calling out that he doesn't even have the control to say you're not going to be a sponsored fighter anymore.
Wow.
I mean, it's a whole. I mean, it's a manipulative game.
Well, the whole... yes, it is a
And
manipulative
evidently, he's been investigated more than once. And
Well-
he just had his personal photographer just came out with.
Yeah, that's the one that cracked me
game.
up.
Just FYI, Jimmy is my personal photographer. Please don't ever come out with anything that I've ever done.
Writing a tell-all book.
But no, I thought that was interesting, though, Craig. 'Cause that's the same article I saw after we had spoken about this. It just came out yesterday, I think, right? That
Yeah.
he
Yeah,
mentioned
something
it.
like that.
But the fact that this was a guy who was shooting local fights, connected with Mullenkamp, and got brought in to shoot everything for the UFC with him.
Completely.
I mean, he was brought on to be their shooter. And it's just wild how behind the scenes what's going on, and all the fighters are coming out with this now. It's not one or two.
No.
It's several are coming out with it.
So let's talk about next COVID. We have not done a couple of shows because of COVID. The world is kind of stopped because of COVID. And now the UFC is planning an event in Florida with 100% capacity. Craig Nasello, yes or no?
Dumb.
Why?
Why? Why do you? why
I'm
do you-
asking. That's why
no,
we're here.
I'm saying why do you? Why do you need all these? Why do you need the people now?
Because it's money.
I understand.
Gate
that.
is
but here-
gigantic
here-
in this business.
I understand that, but here at this point, you're the cornerstone of MMA.
You're the
UFC
first sport to come back.
I understand that, but why are you pushing to go and possibly have a super spreader.
How many UFC shows sell out?
All of them.
I wouldn't say all of them, but most of them do, yes.
Wow, you both just called me out. Okay. Fair. But
I know the one, nothing.
we're not going to talk about the St. Louis show. We already had
Let's
that
just
talk
get ready
tonight.
to say it, too.
Yeah. No, my whole thing is that at what point in time do we just go, and it's time?
I think it's great they're trying to get the fans back.
I don't think it's bad.
Okay.
I just think
hold on. No, because Craig, you're on your second COVID shot. At what point in time do you stop being whatever and just go be you?
I haven't stopped being me.
Good.
But I'm still going to get vaccinated because I don't want it.
I'm not.
I don't want it. First thing.
That's another
Second,
topic, guys.
Yeah.
Continue.
But here's the thing. All I hear is how Florida is the governor of Florida has completely dropped the ball on how he's handled this.
No! There's
Guys,
no. Florida
we're
is
talking
the state that
UFC.
should be done. Like, everyone should be doing what Florida's doing.
Okay.
That's just my opinion.
That's your opinion.
And
that's not my opinion.
But no,
And I'm the opposite of most people because I won't take the vaccine, nor will I care if I get it.
so let's look at it like this, though. Here's the one that shocked me. Texas opened everything up. They're going no mask and everything. We all expected that to be the next UFC show that was going to be full blown.
Fair.
In a large arena. I mean, I was expecting Cowboy Stadium for it.
Oh, that would have been gigantic.
But Dana called them out and saying they're not going to let us have a full capacity.
Well,
but do we need to go full capacity or just get fans back? That's where I was kind of going with this to start with.
I'm good with just fans back. I'm not saying full capacity because that is a lot of.
I mean, we got NCAA. Is it NCAA's right here in St. Louis right now?
Hockey's already doing
so
it
hang
too.
on. You literally just left one of the biggest wrestling events in the country. How was it?
It was
People-wise.
It was low capacity. Everybody had to wear masks. I mean, and NCAA's following it because it was Big 12s leading NCAA's in St. Louis now. But you had to be on the floor. You had to have been with the team you were shooting for or part of that team, had your vaccine, or not vaccines, but have been tested the whole time you were with them and have a negative test to be on the floor. Everybody else, media, was up in the stands or above, and they had designated areas.
And I get that. And Craig, I mean, talk about, what we have to go through. So with me being your backup in case anybody gets COVID at Invicta, what we have to go through monthly whenever that fight comes around. It's incredible.
Well, it's 2 weeks of monitoring your temperature, sending in day and night. You got to do it twice a day, and then you have to have a COVID test. 5 days before, and then usually you get a fast test or a 15-minute test day of, just depending. But it's and then you got Mike that's there handling all the COVID tests the whole week with all the girls in their corners, all the ladies in their corners, I should say. Mm-hmm. And we've had a couple issues, not too bad,
But not bad.
But that's what we had to do for Big 12. So if you were going to be down on the floor and announcer that, you had to take a rapid test the day you got there, Friday.
Okay.
So with that, now all of a sudden you're bringing in 50,000 fans. You got a little more risk.
So
where do you draw? What's the happy medium that you come back?
And I want to know what you guys think. Let us know on Twitter or in the comments here on Facebook. What is the happy medium? Are you ready to get back to the fight world? Are you ready to get back to events? Whatever it takes.
I'm not going to lie. It's kind of nice not having fans.
That's a fair statement. I'm not going to lie to you.
So I'm going to ask this.
Oh, boy.
How are the fighters going to react? Because lately,
you can hear each other.
they can hear their corner and they can hear their opponent's corner.
Yeah.
When fans are there, you can't.
Well,
how does that change the game now over the last year?
It's not even just that. It's you got the assholes that are drunk and are all pumped up and ready to fight too. And it's just,
well, sure.
And you just, I mean, After a while, that really gets annoying.
They got their own show.
It has made a different dynamic for the fight world. So, all right, the last big one here that we've got to talk about UFC wise is Henry Cejudo talking wrestling here. Henry Cejudo has decided that he may come back.
He's gonna fight everybody.
Everyone.
Who's
literally.
on his list? Who's not on his list?
He's 4'9" tall. Let's not call out Max Holloway. Just saying. Jim Raines, your thoughts?
Cejudo, total badass. I mean, I think he can hold his own with anybody he's calling out, and I think it's going to be interesting to see who does fight him if he comes back.
I think everybody should fight him because he's not that good.
He likes to wrestle. Just
don't
FYI.
like him.
I know you don't. I know
I'm
you.
not a fan of Henry. I'm not.
I understand that, which surprises me because we are pretty decent friends with everybody who's in his camp besides him.
I'm just not a fan of. I don't know if it's not a fan of him or it's the fan of his stupid rhetoric of bend your knee, okay. I mean, yeah, cool. You won the Olympics and you've won 2 belts in the UFC. Dude, not taking anything away from that. But this is not professional wrestling.
Fair.
And that gets old to me.
Well, even coming from my other show with Down Goes Frazier on iHeartRadio here, which you can all check out.
Right?
100%. We do some professional wrestling, and no, I don't want that in my MMA world. So, Henry Cejudo, let's see what happens. I don't know. RSO Craig, we got the return of Bellator.
April 2nd.
What's going to happen?
It's going to be fun for me.
Yeah? Well, you can all check it out on
Showtime.
Showtime now, yes.
Showtime. We moved to Showtime. Finally got a permanent home for Bellator, which is awesome.
And I think it's kind of full circle.
Yeah.
Yes.
Scott Coker was originally the Strikeforce guy.
Yes.
Let's be honest. That's where we all knew him. I knew him from there.
Was
lot
on
of things.
Showtime.
Absolutely. On the Showtime world. So
With Strikeforce. And then with Viacom owning Bellator and CBS and all that, they brought us and they own Showtime. So they but they put Bellator on Showtime. And I think it's the right move. I think it's going to be awesome for everybody involved. Because Showtime, I mean, you're probably going to be able to see every bit of the undercard, everything on Showtime. I don't know. I hope so. But I can't wait.
I am stoked for it also. I can't wait. Check it out on Showtime there for it. Go get it. You can get it on any of your streaming platforms or on your cable networks. Go check out Bellator. Send Craig a message whenever he's on. All right, guys. It is time to wrap up the night, though. Craig Nasello, what else you got? Anything else?
Tomorrow I'm retiring.
I mean, you are retiring from your
That's
original
true.
day job, so that's
Yes.
great. So I'm
we
proud
do
of you.
cheers?
Tomorrow's
for
my
that?
last
Cheers
day.
for that. Let's have a drink to that.
20 years at Frito-Lay. It's my last day tomorrow. I'm excited about it.
Kudos.
Congratulations. Jim Range, what do we got? Close it out for us. What do we got?
Been a hell of a run with the show.
Oh,
Having fun.
we're killing it. It's amazing.
I mean, it's great. The fans are great. It's just enjoyable to sit down and just be able
I'm
to be
stoked that
ourselves.
we're back because so for all of you that don't know, we had a COVID scare in the range house, which stopped us from being in the studio. I was involved in a head-on collision car accident, which screwed us up for the better part of a while. I'm really stoked that everyone involved wasn't hurt and we're all still alive. So,
And I'm just lazy and didn't want to leave the house.
well, yeah, I mean, there is that. He doesn't want to leave anywhere that he goes. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, though, thank you very much for joining us. Check us out on Twitter at MMA Bourbon or on Instagram. Let us know. Interact with us. If you have a question, if you have a want for the show, let us know. We will take care of you. All right, guys, what do you think?
I think it's time to wrap it up because I'm tired and want to go home.
He's getting old.
Well, all right, ladies
He's
and gentlemen.
retired.
Thank you guys for everything. We appreciate it. Be back in
2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks.
2
I'm
weeks.
sorry, 2 weeks. Yes.
Hopefully, if
And-
no COVID, we'll be
I think
bringing
I'm
it back.
traveling.
Within the next 6 weeks, we're going to have a new stage
Yeah, studio
to be on.
We will have a new studio, and we'll also have merchandise coming. So check that out. Follow us on all of the socials. Again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us. I am Jeremy Johnson, along with Jim Range and Craig Nasello. And thank you very much from the MMA Bourbon Appreciation Society.
Cheers, everybody.